And that's the hardest part. And today everything is different. There's no action. I have to wait around like everyone else.
When the music fades and the lights go down, sometimes a smile can be the most haunting expression. A silence that says more than words ever could. At the end of Goodfellas, Henry Hill smiles. But it's not a happy ending. It's the hollow grin of a man who's still alive, but already dead inside. As far back as he could remember, he always wanted to be a gangster, and for a while it was paradise. The suits, the cars, the power, a world without consequences, only codes. Loyalty, respect, fear. But beneath that surface, Goodfellas is whispering something darker. This isn't just a film about crime, it's a film about belonging, and what happens when your entire sense of self is built on something that can't last. Henry doesn't get whacked straight away, he doesn't go down in a blaze of glory, he just starts losing everything. His marriage falls apart, his drug-fueled parties have turned into a drug-fueled life of panic, his friends no longer trust him, the crazy thrill has now become a ticking time bomb. Even with everything around him collapsing, he's still addicted to it. Even when the life isn't serving him anymore, even if it's not making him happy, Henry still wants it. Let's look at how director Martin Scorsese shows us this downfall and makes us feel it deeply. In the end, Henry finds himself in court, testifying against his friends, putting an end to their crazy life and times once and for all. When Henry is seated in the witness box, Scorsese begins to slowly move the camera, circling from behind him to directly in front of him. It's a subtle but powerful visual choice. Scorsese lingers, giving us time to fully take in this image. Henry Hill, once untouchable, now reduced to testifying in court, no more bravado, no more control. And Scorsese wants us to sit with it, to truly witness and take in his fall. As Henry points at Jimmy, the camera pushes in on him. In that moment we see everything written across Jimmy's face. The disgust, the betrayal, the bitterness. Here's a man who once had it all, who lived by a strict code, now watching someone he trusted throw it all away. He looks older, hardened, like the weight of everything is finally catching up to him. That glare, cold and locked, says more than words ever could. Then Henry points at Paulie, and there's another slow zoom. But this time it's not rage we see, it's disappointment. Paulie wasn't just a boss, he was a father figure to Henry, someone who offered structure, discipline, even care in his own way. And in that shot you feel the collapse of something deeper, the breakdown of a surrogate family. And then Scorsese does something very bold. Henry turns to the camera and starts speaking directly to us.
Didn't matter. Didn't mean anything. When I was broke, I would go out and rob some more. We ran everything. We paid off cops, we paid off lawyers, we paid off judges. Everybody had their hands out. Everything was for the taking.
He's still in the courtroom, but the fourth wall is shattered. It's jarring, but completely intentional. It's as if Henry has done what he came to do. He's testified, he's betrayed everyone, and now he's walking away from it, just like that. The artificial reality of the courtroom dissolves, because so has the illusion of the life they all once lived. It's Martin Scorsese stripping away the last layer of myth, collapsing the fantasy to show us the raw, final truth. And this moment does more than just break cinematic rules, it reveals something essential about Henry. He's not just narrating anymore, he's confronting us. There's a shift in power, he's no longer hiding behind narration or editing tricks. He's fully visible, fully exposed. And yet, what does he choose to do with that moment? He boasts. Even as the empire crumbles, even as the bodies pile up and the friends are lost, Henry still looks straight at us and lists what he used to have. That lingering spontaneity, that refusal to fully repent, is what makes Henry so haunting. The very next shot is the come down. Henry in his dressing gown, in a new life, finally realising it really is over. Witness protection for him isn't safety, it's exile. You can hear it in his tone, in the way he talks about egg noodles and ketchup. He's not describing comfort, he's describing punishment.
Right after I got here, I ordered some spaghetti with marinara sauce and I got egg noodles and ketchup. I'm an average nobody. Get to live the rest of my life like a schnook.
Why does he smile? Well, I think it's Scorsese's final chance to show Henry in his element, the last fleeting glimpse of him as the suave, confident big shot we've seen throughout the film. For a brief moment he almost looks like that handsome young Henry again, but that smile carries layers. On one level it's a smile of disbelief, it's like he's laughing to himself, I can't believe it's come to this. The man who once walked through restaurants through the back entrance, who was feared and respected, now reduced to just another face in the crowd. It's almost like he's scoffing to himself at the absurdity of it. But maybe it's also a moment of clarity, a silent acknowledgement. You win, here I am, I'm not going back, I'm just like you now. That smile could be resignation, or it could be defiance in disguise. Martin Scorsese has always been obsessed with faces, and Goodfellas is no exception. So much of the film is about expressions, about looking into someone's eyes and seeing who they really are beneath the surface. And with Henry, even now there's still that glint, that spark, that unsettling flicker of ego, still alive behind his eyes. Despite everything that's happened, you get the feeling that if the opportunity presented itself, he might go back. Right after Henry's smile, we get an unexpected image, a shot of his old friend Tommy pointing a gun and firing directly at the camera. It's a jarring, almost surreal moment, but it says everything about what still lingers in Henry's mind. That flash of Tommy, that embodiment of violence and unpredictability, is still with him. That final image of Joe Pesci's character, frozen in time, sums up the entire film. These men may be gone, Tommy is dead, Jimmy's locked up, Henry is stuck in suburban exile, but their spirit, their defiance, still shoots straight through the screen. It's like Scorsese is giving the gangsters one last word, one final shot to say, we will never change, we stand by everything you just saw. For people like Henry and his friends, a regular life was never what they wanted, but maybe it's exactly what they needed. In a strange way, Goodfellas becomes an argument for structure, for normalcy, for the boring rhythms of the everyday. Although we crave excitement, freedom and danger, sometimes it's the mundane that keeps us sane and keeps us alive. Henry sneers at a life with no action, but he doesn't realise that lack of action is what keeps him breathing. It's no accident that Goodfellas ends with Sid Vicious' version of My Way. On the surface, it's a bold, ironic send-off. These men did live life their own way, but the choice of Sid Vicious's cover instead of Sinatra's classic, sophisticated rendition is where Scorsese's genius comes through. Sid Vicious died at 21. His version of My Way is sneering, chaotic and nihilistic. It strips the song of its usual elegance and turns it into something jagged and self-annihilating. And in that way it mirrors Goodfellas perfectly. Because while Henry and the gangsters did it their way was reckless, violent and unstable. They brought into the illusion of freedom at any cost, never stopping to consider the consequences. And just like Sid, their ride couldn't last forever. So when that version of My Way plays, it's not a celebration of independence, it's a warning. It's the cracked and corrupted version of self-determination. It's what happens when living for yourself means destroying everything around you, and yourself in the process. What's worth remembering is that Henry's final line about living like everyone else, the ironic thing is, he never had the right to be above anyone else. That illusion of superiority, of being untouchable, is gone. His ego has finally been checked. He did it his way, and now whether he likes it or not, he's stuck doing it our way. If you enjoyed this video and love analysis and retrospectives on classic cult films, please consider pressing subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.